And welcome back to the Eve NT Opens. It looks like we may have somehow hit a time vortex because I'm seeing almost the exact same comp on the Waffle side as Test last time. They have decided to bring a triple bar guest, a couple of Kirans, some support ships. They are bringing a Hyena, though, instead of a Griffin, and they have all warped in at 50 in a gigantic ball, trying to stay as far away from literally Triggered. Wingnut, tell me all about them.
Well, Triggered has got the big balls with the Vindicator warped in at 0. We've got 2 Tempest fleets warped in at about 10. We've got 2 non-gun Vexes in this fleet as well. We've got an Eos for Lynx. We've got 2 Deacons and double Crusader, which is like I'd never thought I'd see.
Perhaps they are going to be the elite tackle that are going to hold them down, which normally I would say that Crusaders maybe don't necessarily have a place in the Alliance tournament, but considering they're up against a massive Kaidi setup, this might actually be a really, really good call on literally Triggered's part.
Lasers against shields, hell yeah. Another quick note as well is that the Bargus are all rapid heavy, so we're expecting more clip-based DPS. And the Tempests are, of course, autocannon to go with that Vindicator, so a lot of DPS from both teams.
It is going to be up to Waffles to get away from them, and the match is starting. Waffles is...
Gotta run.
I was going to say immediately running away. Yeah, there they go. There they go. All right, they're bailing as fast as they can, kind of in a nice ball. They are... heading away as quick as possible. Those Vargas are already going quite fast. One of them is hitting almost 2,000 MS already.
And the Hyena's already webbed that Vindicator. You are not allowed to get into blaster range, sir.
That is one of the most important things you can possibly do here. Waffles is unloading all of their damage into the Tempest Fleet issue of Michael Rena, who is moving pretty fast. He's moving about 1,400 MS, but he's not going to be able to catch those Vargas unless one of them screws up here.
And you gotta be careful to make sure these Deacons can save him. Of course, the Vindicator did drop bounces for DPS here, so you're gonna try and put some damage on. Looks like they're picking on a Jackdaw first.
That's an interesting target. Oh yeah, lots of rep.
Oh, look at the Crusader. Oh no! Oh no! Pop!
Waffles is clearing tackle as fast as they can, and that Fleet Tempest is also not really surviving that well. I think it looks like he might have gone out of range of at least one of the Deacons here. They do only have to tank until those Vargas rapid heavy clips will run out, though, and so there's a chance. This isn't like the first match we saw of the day where there were torpedo-fit ships where the damage never stops.
If he can just outlast the first clip and get back up to full armor, and if he's got an Ansel rep, reload it as fast as he can.
The second Crusader is down.
Yeah, I get the feeling these Crusaders might not have been the best of picks, especially with how ballsy they were. Both Crusaders died in the middle of the enemy pack.
And it looks like that the Tempest did survive the first set of damage from the Barghest. That is a pretty long reload from both of them. So besides the Barghest, there's really not all that much DPS on the Waffles side. But Waffles is doing an incredible job here, kiting away. They're flying way better than Test did on their last match. Sorry, Test.
Yes, and also seeing these Vexes, of course, like I said, they have got no guns. They're probably like full tank and newt fit. They got to get in there. They got to get the web off the Vindicator, get the web onto them. Because at the moment, they're just being held perfectly at range. They can't really put much damage down on the enemy. They got to get in there. Grab something. Anything. Just kill something.
They do have the Waffles Bifrost of Sashir. Looks like he's been neuted out. He's having trouble getting away. So if there's a potential that the Vexer might be able to switch to him, and it looks like, so Vexer. The Vexer has tackled the Bifrost. So
pop.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to live very much longer. They just wiped out a Vexer.
That Vexer wasn't even the one tackling. That was just the other Vexer. They just picked on one Vexer and killed it. That is a lot of front load DPS.
Oh, and the second one's dropping incredibly fast. Yeah.
Not looking good. They're picking this team apart.
Yeah, they're just... Waffles is kiting them perfectly. This is very, very impressive piloting. You can see all three of those Bargas are kind of chilling together and just staying ahead of the entire pack. I'm guessing that Bifrost of Sashir does not have much time left in this world, seeing as that's the only thing that literally Triggered can even hit.
Yeah, and the Vindicator's now stopped trying to chase. He's just going to keep it range on that Bifrost. Yeah, just boom, look at that straight down.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's some damage.
I mean, like, they got to do something with Triggered. Like, they have to start picking off something of this comp. Like, if they can get the Hyena, that will give them more control. If they can catch and kill one of the Kirans, that'll be some Logi off the field. They just start picking apart this team the way they are being picked apart.
Well, and the Hyena is so far away right now from the entire setup. Like, again, saying it again, Waffles is flying this so well right now. We got a couple serious tournament veterans. I recognize actually most of these names from the last couple of years. So it's interesting to see. This is kind of how you're supposed to fly this Barghest comp. Having flown it several times in ATs myself and fed once or twice to it, Waffles is flying this so well. As long as they keep flying perfectly, they really don't have a chance of losing here. However, this is a very skill-dependent comp, and all it takes is one of those Barghest being tackled, and he is going to completely die. The Vindicator and 2 Fleet Tempest will chew through it.
Absolutely, yeah. This is definitely like one of those comps that if you know what you're doing, you can really make it work. If you don't know what you're doing, it's just going to be a throwaway comp. But they're playing this very well. We're seeing the Barghest spinning around as well again. Tempest Fleet is charging in. He might get primary again in a moment.
He does have a chance. They're trying to take the Deacons down. They're having a little bit of trouble. Deacons are very, very difficult ships to actually kill.
Yeah.
Especially with rapid heavies.
That's not enough. Yeah, they got high enough paint on. That's not enough at all. There was also a swarm of rep drones on him. Just an utter swarm.
Yeah, I think, like I said, actually, you just dropped really hard. I was going to say, well, they're not doing anything, but the Deacon just died, so.
Oh, no, absolute F. Also, just making sure as well, everyone knows this is Waffles versus, what's the word? Literally Triggered. Looks like the overlay has bugged out.
Oh, that's okay. It could be Laserhawks too. I don't even, is Laserhawks even in this tournament? Maybe they're coming up next, but,
I think they are. Well, at this point in the match, I really feel like we need to start singing "Do You Like Waffles?"
I'm not going to do that, but what I am going to do is watch this Bifrost go down because he has been Vindicator Web too. So, like we've talked about, even if everybody flies almost perfectly, you'll still get caught eventually. So this Bifrost is almost 100% going to go down. We saw how fast, like just that hit alone was probably Vindicator just slapping it. And this Jackdaw's actually taking a ton of damage as well, which is interesting. Yeah. So the Bifrost does go down, and this Jackdaw, he's at full transversal. I'm not really sure how they're hitting him so easily, but they're kind of just chunking through him right here.
Yeah, and I will say that might be a problem for them. They've lost both their link boats. Give it a little bit of time. Those Barghest might start slowing down.
Well, and interestingly enough, just because of the way points are working this tournament, they literally Triggered only has to kill one more ship and they'll be ahead. And while the Barghest have a lot of damage, Vindicators and Fleet Tempest and Eoses have a ton of buffer HP. So it is entirely possible that this might go to time, just like the last match. And there's a chance, relatively small, that if Waffle screws up on their piloting and gets even just one of those smaller ships tackled, that could be it. Saying that, the Vindicator is taking a ton of damage, but the rep drones are on him. He does have a chance. And remember that any Gallente ship has massive amounts of hull buffer. So they have a lot of time to try and save him. And they do have that limited time DPS of those Barghest heavy assault missile clips, heavy rapid plates.
I will say, though, if he survives this clip, I think Tusk is going to immediately change their ammo type. Because you can actually see on the Vindicator, he is running a reactive armor hardener. So they're going to switch to another damage type and just delete him in the next clip. So he's on borrowed time now. He's going into hull. If he survives this, he's still going to die, I think.
Well, there is only 3 minutes left, so if he does survive this, there is a chance he can rep back up. The Caracal actually was grappled for a little bit, but I think it was at the max range, so he was able to get away in time. And I just saw the attack bar drop, so one of the Barghest is on reload right now, and the other two might be as shortly as well. So the Caracal of Waffles is neuted out. His MWD just turned off. He might get caught here.
I'm trying to add up the points. Is that going to be enough for them?
That will be, yes. The Caracal is worth 4 points. So if this Caracal does go down, which, again, he just got his MWD back on, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen. He is kiting a little bit. He's kiting towards one of the Kirans, and he's got some rep drones on him, but Caracals are incredibly squishy ships, and we're actually seeing the Vindicator pulled back here. So this game is still very much in play. If this Caracal goes down, or this Hyena that just got grappled, though, again, it was probably at max range, there is still a chance for literally Triggered to pull this off just by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, for sure. That Vindicator is trying to pull away, but I think the problem's going to be most of the arena is within range. I think actually he's trying to cut off that Barghest, to be honest, because one of the other Barghest now is going around the other direction. They might be able to work together with the Tempest Fleet to try and corner one of them.
Yeah, this is pretty much come down to a couple of people solo battleship PvPing versus an entire group of people. So the reloads have hit, and that Vindicator is in low structure, so he is going to go down. The Caracal did an amazing job getting out of range of those newts and just spamming his MWD until he was able to get it back going. One of the Kirans is neuted out.
From the Kiran too. Well done from the Kirans there too to keep him alive.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job. It was really, really close here. I do think that if this Vindicator goes down, I don't think that Literally Trigger has enough time to do enough damage to catch up on points.
Absolutely
And
not. There's no way. That's the Bargus boundary. That's really the only chance they've got, I think, here.
which, interestingly enough, I mean, they're probably not going to because they're pretty solidly in the middle now. And the Vindicator does go down, so now Waffles has a pretty huge point lead. They would have to take out one of the Bargus at this point to get ahead. But because of the way that Waffles was flying, boundaries were very much something that could have been in play. They had to kite, and they did a very, very good job of it. So at this point, unless one of the Bargus boundaries, in fact, I think if two of the Bargus boundary literally triggered, can take this back from them.
just two boundaries is all it
Just
requires.
saying, all you guys got to do is have two of your Bargus boundary, and then you're going to lose. Just
Oh yeah,
try really hard.
the control from Waffles' team is just so brutal. Like that hyena has been the entire match, just been the thing slowing everything down. And even if they got close enough to get past the hyena, these Bargus probably have long scrams as well. So just you can't get close enough.
Yeah, that was
Just control.
incredible piloting on Waffles' part. Like that is that if you think this match compared to the last match where the Bargus were like, we're going to go sit on top of battleships, that's how you fly this comp. So anyone who's watching, take note.
And with that, the timer is over. So this match is now over. I think Waffles solidly in the lead with that one. Well done.